Good evening, everyone. I'll be filling in for President Alice Broadway this evening. Welcome to the Monday, June 15th, Board of School Directors Board Meeting. The purpose of this meeting is to conduct the business of the Gettysburg Area School District. Board of Directors meetings and committee meetings are open to the public but are not public meetings. All school district residents who wish to make public comment should sign in prior to the start of the meeting and request to speak during citizens' participation. School district residents wishing to speak to the board shall do so only during the citizens' participation section of the meeting. The board will not tolerate public outbursts or disruptions, nor will it tolerate comments made outside of the citizens' participation portion of the meeting. Public comment is welcome, and all issues will be referred to the appropriate board committee or administrator. Comments will be summarized in the official board minutes, which will be available by contacting the business office. Just want to make a special note for everyone that we did conduct an executive session before this meeting. We had two items on the agenda. One was for the Capital Area Intermediate Unit to train the team on utilizing Agenda Manager, which will help us work more efficiently. And number two, we had our Police Chief Jim give us a presentation on the 25-26 safety and security issues related to the district. Jim, is there anything else I need to mention with that to make sure that to help us for the minutes?
Yeah, I think
all right, thank you. With that, roll call. Belinda, do I do that or do you?
You do that, but I'm more than happy to do that for you.
Okay. No, I think Alice is excused. I believe we have, and Justine Sig is excused. We have Kathleen Pratt on the phone, and she plans to participate in the entire meeting, I believe. So I think we're good. We have 7 members, so we have more than a quorum. We have several notices and communications. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it would be good if we did the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have several notices and communications. Is there anything or any questions related to the cash activity summary?
Belinda, on the fixed rate for ACMB and the fixed rate for the PSD LAF, what exactly are those two funds used for?
ACMB is our normal operating account for all activities,
Okay.
and PSLAF PMA is where our investments are held. All state money comes in through PSLAF and then gets transferred over to, when we need the funds, to the ACMB.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else? Next item, 3.2. Any questions or comments related to Capital Projects Fund report? Not seeing any. 3.3, year-end projections report. .4, the food services report. And then we'll move on to 3.5. I believe we have a short presentation by a representative from the AYSO program.
Hello, thank you for letting me be here tonight. I'm Pamela Morrissey, and this is
Charlie Roth.
Charlene Roth, and we are here from AYSO just to thank Gettysburg School District for the continued use of the field out there. We have over 100 children coming in, obviously, every season and learning and making memories. Thanks to you all for doing that. And we know it doesn't come without resources, and so we're here to offer $5,600 this year as just our commitment and our thank you.
Before you leave, I just want to say on behalf of the board and the district administration, a big thank you for the monetary donation, but also for the 400 students that have participated this past year. And I happen to know a little bit about that. I'm the figurehead regional commissioner for AYSO. But what a wonderful program this is for kids that are looking for a recreational soccer program. It's not quite as intense as the club soccer program and some of the other higher level type things, but it certainly is a strong feeder program for the Gettysburg Area School District for those kids at some point that might want to take it to the next level and possibly play, interscholastic sports at the middle school and high school level. So a big thank you to for the money and the donation, but also for your volunteerism and a wonderful program that happens a lot of Saturdays out there at James Geddes on the fields there. And the school is very happy to provide those facilities. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then next, 3.6, we have a guest from the Adams County Library School System. The library system, and this is, I believe, Miranda, right?
Yes. Thank you. My name's Miranda Weiser. I'm the Executive Director of the Adams County Library System. And I don't want to bury the lead, but I'm afraid I did not bring a check with me tonight. Apologies for that oversight. But good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to provide an update about some of the activities that we're doing in the Adams County Library System and how we can partner and support with the Gettysburg Area School District. First, I'd like to start my remarks with a sincere commendation for the Gettysburg Area School District's reading successes. The scores exceed the state average, with 1 out of 2 fourth graders reading at or above grade level, which exceeds the rest of the state. And that is a meaningful achievement, speaking to the dedication of this board, your educators, and the families that you serve. This milestone matters deeply because fourth grade marks the shift between learning to read and reading to learn. And as some of you may be aware, young people who are not reading at grade level by fourth grade are 4 times more likely to drop out of school before they graduate. So those are children that are already on the right path forward. Strong literacy by this age is a foundation for success. So I'm here tonight to share some of our help in impacting that. As you may be aware, ACLS is honored to be recognized as a Gold Star library by the Pennsylvania Forward Initiative. I believe there's some information in your packets tonight about what that initiative is and what it means. But it means that we've demonstrated advanced commitment to the 5 pillars of literacy. That's basic literacy, information literacy, civic and social justice literacy, health literacy, and financial literacy. We're proud to have a library located in every school district in Adams County, but I think it's worth noting that 35% of our circulation occurs in this school district. So 35% of the roughly 450,000 books we circulate each year come from families living in your school district. Your students and families care deeply and engage with their public library. Before a child ever steps foot into a classroom, the library is working to prepare them for success. We offer weekly preschool programs at our locations, and we also partner with the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, ensuring that every child 0 to 5 has access to 1 free book mailed to their home every month, long before they ever step foot in kindergarten. Speaking of kindergarten, we also promote a program called 1,000 Things Before Kindergarten, which is also accessible for 0 to kindergarten age, and that promotes reading to children, but also other literacy and social development activities that help them come to kindergarten ready to learn and ready to succeed. These resources help build a strong foundation well before kindergarten ever begins. We continue to serve students throughout the school year. Our support continues with interactive programs, hands-on activities, and of course, resources for all ages. A cornerstone of this work is happening right now, our Summer Quest program. When school is out, the library is in. This is our Christmas time of the year, and it is a critical tool for combating the summer slide, which I'm sure you know can be cumulative year after year. So thanks for allowing us to visit your schools during the last few months of the school year. We have already recorded record high participation in this year's Summer Quest program. So we're working on partnering to keep kids reading, thinking, and engaging all summer long. Looking ahead, we have sent out information to your civics and social studies teachers at the high school level to let them know of a contest and program we're going to be running in the fall to help promote America 250. Of course, they can choose whether or not to incorporate that into their curriculum, but the goal of that project is to invite high school students to think deeply and critically about the Revolutionary War era. And it's a creative way for students to engage with history, and we hope that some of the Gettysburg Area School District faculty will choose to join us in that endeavor. Finally, also information in your packets this evening is an exciting resource that we're able to make available to each of your schools or classrooms, depending on the interest, and that is SORA. That is a student-friendly portal to the library's ebook and e-audiobook holdings that are accessible, along with a blockade that does not permit through adult content, so it would only be children's materials available that students can read for fun, or simultaneous use titles are available for classroom reading through their Chromebooks. So if that is of interest to any classroom or any school, we can certainly partner with that teacher or that school administrator in getting permission slips from parents to be distributed library cards. Thank you for your time and for your continued partnership today. And please know that we too are committed to ensuring that every young person in the Gettysburg Area School District is being taught with literacy skills and opportunity to succeed.
Miranda, any remarks regarding the success of your Fun Fest on Friday? I thought it was wonderful.
It was wonderful. It was incredibly hot. I was very jealous of the people that got to be in the dunk tank. I kind of regretted not volunteering myself, but it was a wonderful success. We'll definitely be bringing the dunk tank back. It was a first this year, and it was a major hit. Alleviated a little pressure from the face painters and the balloon animal makers, for sure.
I think Dr. Matzer might be a great candidate for that. And I would just say what a pleasure it was to be able to host the library, I think, for over 10 years now out at the rec park.
This was our 9th year.
The 9th year.
Yep.
So it was great having you all out there and great seeing all the activity and all the volunteers. They did a great job. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions about the library system? Okay, thank you for your time this evening.
No one has requested to address the board under citizens' participation, so we'll move into routine approvals. Todd, how could I forget you? I'm sorry. We do have one more presentation, 3.7, the Gettysburg Area Education Foundation, Mr. Todd Orner.
Thank you, Dr. Moore. I was going to thank you for buying tickets, but I'll thank Sue instead. Anyway, I appreciate the opportunity to address you for a few minutes. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Todd Warner. I'm the president of the Gettysburg Area Education Foundation. I am a Gettysburg Area High School graduate class of 1980. For context, our son is 2014, my dad 1953, so we're at least 3 generations there. I also served on the board, just like you are now, from 2005 to 2017 as a board member and 6 years as president. So I appreciate and thank you for the time that you put in, the effort that you make, and the stewardship that you give everyone in the community. So a few minutes, I won't take, try not to take much of your time. A few things to touch on. Whoops, sorry about that. A meeting or two ago, Alice, yes, I'm having a great night. Alice shared with you our Come From Away, our fundraiser at Totem Pole Playhouse, July 1st. And I'll thank him anyway. Thank you, Dr. Moyer, and thank you, Dr. Matzner, for buying tickets to join us on that evening. The Come From Away is a wonderful show based on true stories from September 11th. And this is the regional debut for Come From Away. Totem Pole got it first. We do have a special guest joining us. We have 1989 Gettysburg Area High School graduate and two-time Tony Award winner Beowulf Borat joining us, and some of his family as well. Along with winning 2 Tonys, Beowulf was the scenic designer for the Broadway run of Come From Away. So it's going to be great to see him there and kind of have an opportunity to interact with him. And my wife directed plays and a musical or two here, and he was officially Snoopy in Your Good Man Charlie Brown from back in the late 80s. So we have 5 tickets left. We have not sold a show out at the Totem Pole for us since the first year or two. So I was very excited to announce that we not only sold our 50 tickets, I bought 14 more, and we have 5 left. So if you have July 1st free, we have your ticket includes a pre-show reception sponsored by Members First. There'll be wine and soft drinks and water and snacks. So I encourage you to, if you have an opportunity, come on out and join us. In your packet, I've also included a sheet on the high school JROTC Wall of Service project. It's been going on most of last school year, but if you have an opportunity, what it does is the money that comes in helps them build their wall of recognition, their wall of service for students who are going through JROTC and go on to the military. And they're also opening it up to veterans from the area. So we have that. And one other item is Warrior Helping Hands, which is an ongoing fundraiser using our Give Butter system as his wall of service. Warrior Helping Hands is coordinated by the district social worker, Jennifer Weigel, and we just have this open for folks to be able to give. We have one recurring donor who gives money every month, and it ends up every so often a couple $100 here and there. We had our most recent donor was the Knights of Columbus, St. Ignatius Loyola Church Council gave that fund $500. So thank you to them. And I also have in your packet Community Aid. We are a nonprofit partner with Community Aid, and we've done a few clothing drives here and there at the holiday market in December, and also at Lincoln Elementary and a few other places. And it's helped us raise $395 so far, so not bad for folks donating clothing. If you have clothing, you can attach one of these tags and then take it down to Hanover or wherever, Community Aid, and we get credit for it. 13 cents a pound for clothing and shoes and stuff like that. So, you have a sheet. It does not have all this writing on it, I promise you. A sheet that just looking at our fiscal year activity, our year in review. The year is almost over. We'll get one more donation from Community Aid, but besides that, just wanted to share with you, I didn't come with a check tonight, but we've been writing checks all year long for various things. Give Butter is our online crowdfunding solution, resource, and we offer that to the district, to buildings, to student groups, to PTOs, and whatever money is raised, they get 100% of it. They do the work. All I do is create a website for them. We accept the credit cards and the cash. We do the banking, and then write them a check for 100% of what was given. And most people cover the credit card fees, and if they don't, Give Butter covers it for them now. So it is truly a wonderful tool. So $28,500 and change on combined Give Butter, and we have a few things going on right now, which I've mentioned to you, with the Wall of Service, Helping Hands. And our completed Give Butter, I just want to make a quick note that Franklin Township Elementary, their reading staff, their reading specialists do a fundraiser every year to support their reading program, and every student at Franklin Township gets a book 3 or 4 times a year. I think it's 4. So the money they raise buys those books, and this year they raised $10,538.07. And they did a great job of engaging businesses in Franklin Township and beyond. So we have Small Games of Chance. We hold a Small Games of Chance license, and $11,831 and change paid out this year. One big raffle that brought in most of that, and again, that money all went back. We do charge a 5% admin fee on that because we have reporting that has to be done. We have to buy the tickets and stuff like that. So the one that we have was the high school orchestra was raising money for students to go on a trip to Italy this summer. And they raffled their travel group, their travel company, gave them 2 tickets, airfare included, to either London or Paris, and they made over $8,000 on that raffle. So I wanted to note that. Donations this year, we brought in almost $5,300. A couple of notes. Again, I mentioned the Knights of Columbus already. Our summer STEM camp scholarships, we had a generous donation from David and Ellen Seitz. So thank you. We had, so again, mentioning those to you, we had an agriculture education donation show up in our mailbox from the York Adams Two-Stroke Engine Club. Those are the kind of things you'd like to see. Adams County Community Foundation, we have 3 things that we get from them, 3 items. The first is our education endowment, which paid out $1,880 this year. We get that money in January. The Giving Spree, and Today Gifts, it was over $1,000. And then our former superintendent, Dr. Larry Redding, and his wife Janet have a designated endowment fund that they trust the GAEF to take care of the finding students who need assistance. So that last year was $1,340. We helped 2 GAE Gettysburg High School students who also are at ACTI, and we gave the balance of the money to FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America, to help them get to their state conference, as well as the High School Technology Student Association. They got $100 of that. So this year, $1,540 will be available. And then grants. Here's the big one. So of all that, we awarded a little over $10,000 in grants this year. We have innovation and challenge grants, which we have decided not to do anymore. We're going to put all that money out there for that we were doing for that, and to project support grants moving forward. $5,000, I think, Dr. Metzner, I think that's what we fell on there a year. But we gave out innovation challenge grants, project support grants. We help our students who help us at Apple Harvest. At Apple Harvest every year we do we volunteer and we get paid for the volunteering. We have students from National Honor Society, Key Club, FBLA, and we give them $5, not the students, we give the club $5 for every shift the kids do. So that money goes into their treasury. So it was $60 there. And we also do the nurses who help us out. And again, I mentioned the Reading Fund. Then we had the project support grant for hidden dangers facing today's youth, $1,570. Dr. Matzner had requested that grant, and we provided 100 copies of The Anxious Generation for that wonderful event. And finally, the summer STEM camp scholarships that I mentioned before, $2,955. Thanks again to the Mr. and Mrs. Seitz. We were able to give 12 scholarships. They were able to give 12 scholarships for the money that we had. What do I have here for you? That's about it. I just want to say, if you know anyone in the community who you think might want to volunteer, either as a trustee or just as a volunteer with GAEF, let me know. My contact information is on the last page of the packet that I gave you. We're looking for folks that preferably live in the community. Graduates of the school district would be great, but we're not necessarily going to turn anyone away if they don't live in the area. So I'll stop babbling. Thank you for your time. Any questions? Okay, thank you so much. And again, thank you, Dr. Metzner and Dr. Moyer, for supporting us at the totem pole.
Thank you.
Thank you, Todd, for the detailed information and for your presentation this evening, and for the work of you and the whole foundation all year long. Thank you. Once again, as I mentioned, there's no citizens participation this evening. Moving into routine approvals, I would like to combine the subjects 5.1 and 5.2, the agenda minutes, and the financial report. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Go ahead, I'll wait till you.
Second.
I'd like to pull out financials.
Oh, okay. Discussion.
I want to pull out financials.
Well, we're going to pull out financial and do
It's
it.
only 5.1 and 5.2. Is that financials? Let me go back. Yeah. Hold on a second. I was moving around too much. So you just want the vote on the 5.1?
I think so, since Mr. Seitz would like to pull out 5.2.
Can you just make sure that can you put Ms. Pratt up to the mic so we can, I heard her, but I don't know, it should be audible so we can hear her.
Redo her.
Yeah.
Yes, when she votes.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
She has to redo her approval.
Yeah, she has to redo her motion, so
Yes.
revise your motion to be 5.1 only.
Right.
Okay, hi, it's Kathleen Pratt. I revise my motion to vote on 5.1.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Okay. Mike?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
I vote yes. Tim?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yes.
Kathleen?
Yes.
Thank you. That motion is approved. The 5.2, the financial report, may I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Seitz?
Yeah. Last week, I had talked to Belinda, and she was kind enough to lead me and navigate through our website for the budget prep four-year comparison by function. And our budget process that we had this year, and being a new member, seems somewhat consolidated to a few months of trying to do a budget that's $80 million plus. My opinion is that it should be an ongoing, moving forward type of process, where each month we're looking at different figures and different projections, which we do, but we should start forming some type of committee that tries to analyze not only the revenue side, which seems to what we concentrate on, is the tax revenue, or revenue coming in from the taxes, or increasing millage, or whatever it might be, or the state or the Fed. but we need to analyze each one of the account numbers, which is 2 pages of different account numbers, and determine, is there any benefit and economy of scale that we can procure and reduce our overhead? We're coming into a time that we increased 3.5% this year. Don't know what the forecast is yet, but with your budgets going up 3 to 5% annually, it's hard to imagine that you can do less taxation without trying to find the other side of the balance. And that is to trying to find where we can find overhead that we can minimize and save, and at the same time provide achievement for our academics, for our students, both from a classroom standpoint or an activity standpoint, and not diminish that. So we have to determine how we're going to do that. So it would be my recommendation that we form that committee, and that every month we analyze where our budget is on a monthly basis and where our expenses are, and try to obtain a reduction of expenses in the next year of a minimum of 1.1 to 2.2% for next year. Because we're on a path that we're going to need probably 5% over the next several years in order to balance a budget and not increase taxes more than we did this year. So I'm going to have some questions for Belinda, which I'll ask separately, but I believe that we need to start looking at this statement and figure out where we're headed.
Thanks, Dave. Belinda, I do know that you and your team start the process probably, October or maybe even earlier?
Yeah, we document, send information out to all the building departments and the principals beginning October, November, to start the process for the new year. I do know we will look at developing the 5-year projection based upon the current year's scenario, and that's forthcoming as soon as we are able to provide that information in with our software.
So I think as we look to reconvene in August and down the road, we'll have the board officers work with Dr. Matzer and Mrs. Wallen and see what we can do there. And if board members are interested in being part of a subcommittee, maybe that's something we can put together. Thank you, Dave.
You still need to vote on it.
So we have a motion, so we're going to vote. Ryan?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Kathleen?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Dave?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
And Mike?
Yes.
Thank you. Routine approval, subject 5.3, human resources recommendation. Do we have a motion to approve the personnel items for 5.3?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? I do have a few things, not so much a discussion, but a big thank you. As you noticed on that list, we are approving 2 social workers this evening, and I'm hopeful, as the presentation in our executive session, working with our Hope Squad and all the other things that we do to help at-risk kids in our school district, I do think we owe a shout out to 2 individuals who have been performing as our independent contractors over the past 4 years, Tara Zimmerman and Rachel Hasty. Being part of the Pupil Personnel Advisory Committee for several years now, I'm not sure how long, but I've gotten to know these 2 people fairly well, and we've become good acquaintances, and I know they had a great reputation among our school counselors at the building level. And the number of at-risk kids and at-risk families that Tara and Rachel have connected with community resources as well as school resources and maybe legal resources and so on, I just think they deserve a big thank you for their efforts over the past 4 years. And as independent contractors, as you may or may not know, they do not get the full benefits of our professional staff. They're not because of that category or that status. So it's my hope that these two social workers, who I have not met yet, I don't know, I plan on continuing to be on the advisory committee, but I just want to say on behalf of myself, and I think on behalf of this board and administration, thank you, Tara. Thank you, Rachel, for all the at-risk students and families that you have reached over the years. It's immeasurable, the positive impact that you've had on a lot of families. Thank you. With that, we'll vote. Mike?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
I vote yes. Kathleen?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yes.
Thank you. Items for board action. We have the item 6.1, the ACTI land purchase update, that the board take action on a request to sign the resolution from ACTI. May I have a motion to approve?
I make the motion.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
I do.
Yeah. And Dave, before you start with, and Tim, I know I texted you. I don't know if you got that or not. Would you mind making, as the representative on the JOC for ACTI representing Gettysburg School District, I have received a lot of questions and remarks about the Harrisburg area community college building coming up for sale. Would you mind sharing a little bit about what the JOC has looked at for that and why that's not a viable alternative?
I can. I know a lot of that was in executive session, so I don't want to get too detailed with that. But I know they had looked at it before, or I don't want to say the whole team. I know I think Sean and them were approached by them. A couple things about that property is, I don't think anybody knows how much they wanted for it. Now it's for sale, so that'd be number one. Number two, it's in a major flood plain. And I think the big concern with the flooding wouldn't necessarily be the building itself, would be the hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment that they have running around that you'd have to insure. And I'm pretty sure from the gist I got was HAC wanted to sell it to us and then lease back part of it, which would take, what you wanted to use away. So it wasn't really help you in that respect. The search for property in Adams County was slim to none. There's not a lot that fits that particular footprint. And I also don't believe it has enough land with it for expansion. So there were the details that I got from that.
Thank you. I think that's very helpful, and I think that answers a lot of questions from people in the community that at least have been asking me those types of things. Dave?
Well, speaking on that, I had a discussion today with an individual in regards to the HAC building. My understanding is it's for sale for under $10 million. If you combined HAC with, I think the district's land goes right down to the garage, right where HAC is, that could house possibly part of the motor education system there. And you infilled from that to the main building and you utilize the land that we already have, I believe you could come close to the 200,000 square feet that would be requested at a much less per square foot cost. The stormwater, as far as the flooding, yes, it's in a 5-year floodplain because that's what happened. We had a 5-year flood occurrence back in 1996 when we had 10 inches of rain in 3 hours. So can't predict that. I don't think anybody can predict that, and I don't know what the sea level is for the new land that's being purchased, if the same thing would happen or not. But my belief is that if you did a due diligence and you did proper stormwater management at that facility with diversion and utilized our current land that we already have, that you could do it at a more of economy of scale, and because I anticipate with the purchase and acquisition of the land, doing the infrastructure, today's number is around 75 million. I believe that's correct, Tim, from what Sean had said. Well, by the time they build it, if it's going to be done in the next 3 to 5 years, and you do a 5% increase each year, you could see a 25% increase on that building cost. So now you're going to be pushing 100 million. And you won't have anybody in the seat in the house in that school probably for 3 years. Whereas in the event that they could find a way and do a feasibility study on the Hack building, you could have students in that within 12 months. So I think that should be looked at in another vein, and that should be something that should be done in parallel with the current land that's being looked at.
Dave, do you happen to know what the square footage of Hack is?
It's just shy of 100,000. And with the infill, and with the land we already have adjoining, I think you could get to your 200,000.
Question about the land that's adjoining, though. What are you
Well,
meaning on
from-
the Eisenhower site?
Yeah. Mhm.
And so, to use that elementary school, or to use the lot that's above
Well, at
the
some point in
floodplain?
time, if we're not selling that facility, okay, as a request of VITA, they may end up building a new school elsewhere. Who knows? And if they do, and that becomes fallow, that could be the next phase of ACTI, in my opinion.
But the building that stands there would be totally inappropriate for.
Right, yeah, that wouldn't, yeah, but you have plenty of land going down through there,
That Eisenhower's on what, 9 acres?
roughly.
Any further discussion?
Hi, yes, Kathleen Pratt. So, when I read the ACTI memo regarding the land purchase, I recall saying that there's a 7-month window as due diligence is being done before the final contract is signed. Is that correct?
Kathleen, I believe it is. In fact, I have the resolution in front of me. The due diligence process, primarily a traffic study and reviewing all prior work completed and evaluating the site by other potential previous buyers. ACTI has secured another allocation of funds from the county grants program managed by the Adams County Community Foundation to fund due diligence work. During your June board meetings, we asked that you consider the resolution to purchase the real estate that will be provided. The resolutions were prepared with a maximum purchase price of $2 million, simply to give us headroom to complete the deal, but the agreed upon price per the contract is $1.7 million.
So one thing that I'd like to see, kind of in tandem with Dave, though we haven't had this discussion, I'd like to see a part of the due diligence funds that it sounds like ACTI has gotten in grant money to actually explore, can stormwater diversion be done on the Hack property, and thereby that property really being useful to ACTI. Dave pointed out all of the reasons why that makes sense. I agree with him. I will say, as a former Hack employee, the stormwater issue is real. There were times when we would have to evacuate the building. So that is real. However, it would be interesting to hire an engineering and architecture firm to take a look at what could be done to improve that situation. It would be really nice to see the students in a good ACTI building sooner than years down the road.
Go ahead, Ryan.
I would say, I mean, too, one thing that has been brought up in board meetings in the past, but having it closer to home is something that should resonate for us in terms of not on the other side of New Oxford. But I often have wondered, and you know, it's kind of well past the days of speculation, but with the footprint there where it is, why aren't we just expanding further back into our own existing property at the high school? What precluded that?
Well, I'm pretty sure, because a lot of the property here at the district that isn't built on is all wetland, so you're kind of restricted how far you can go. And then also behind there, I believe the baseball field's behind there too. So there's really nowhere for us to expand that building. The other thing I did want to mention too is looking at the numbers that were put out, it was 1.7 million, 200,000 that goes into a thing that ACTI gets back. So you're at 1.5, 500,000 of that's money is paid by the grant money they got. So we're only responsible for, all the districts are only responsible for 1 million of it, not the 1.2 million everybody's speculating. So the numbers are skewed. It's not 400 and some thousand we have to pay, it's less, but I don't know what that actual number is. Belinda might know, but and I'm not saying that it shouldn't be explored, because it would be a great location if everything transpires. But also, as a thing, if we did purchase, and some of us deal with land all the time, but those size lots are not available everywhere, so they are few and far between. The only benefit to actually purchasing this property, even if something would transpire and we wanted to, ACTI wanted to resell it, it's always there. It's not like it's going to lose money. So it is an investment that, even if they didn't build anything in 3 years, they might be able to sell it for more and have more money to put back into their own program. So purchasing the land as a whole isn't the thing. We'd have to vote to build the school anyway. Right now, we're just purchasing the land if everything goes by. So just my thoughts.
Thank you, Tim. Dr. Dalton, could you explain to us what all this resolution, if approved, what does it commit us to? Is it a point of no return?
I haven't seen the resolution, so I don't know.
Okay, well, that would be good if
Yeah,
you saw
I only have what's on the agenda. I mean, but normally a resolution is a statement, but I haven't seen it, so I don't know. It's not in the, I only have the attachment from.
I believe it is.
I just have the memo.
It says it's for action.
Is there, okay. Oh, I see, okay. Let me just, give me 30 seconds.
While Lee is looking at that, any other discussion on that?
Just one thing about the logistics too, if, through this approval process, presumably then the other districts are doing their own deliberations. How does that all work in synchrony? I mean, is it that one can hold us all up, or?
Yes. That is how it works. And it says, so the resolution says the school district does hereby give its approval to the attached resolution and agrees to be bound by the terms and conditions. Where are those in this memo? Because I see a lot, but I don't see terms or conditions. And therefore I don't know.
Yeah, Lee, I had a question as well. I didn't see that document attached.
Yeah, it says next steps, and it says we ask you to consider the resolution to purchase real estate, but I don't see that as terms or conditions.
I'm assuming terms and conditions would be the real estate deal?
I don't know.
Agreement?
I'm not sure. It could be even, it doesn't have to be the real estate terms necessarily. It could be loosely defined. The resolution is basically, we're stating a position here as a board that we normally, with a JOC kind of setup where you have multiple boards, to your point, Ryan, weighing in on or voting in on something, normally it could be a really loosey-goosey kind of terms and conditions, as in this is our next step and we'll wait maybe a 7-month period of time, we agree to the due diligence, but I don't see those explicitly laid out in terms of what the action is, unless maybe you know, Mr. Seitz.
No.
Okay.
I haven't seen a contract. They haven't given us a contract that I know of.
And even if this weren't termed, it does say attachment, but it does make it sound as if the attachment, as memo, has some
The attachments
outline
that I have on the original email from Sean are just basically the resolutions for each district.
Well, I believe that each district should receive a copy of the agreement to review.
the resolution suggests that the memo has terms and conditions, and I don't see that the memo has terms and
The
conditions.
memo was part of the email.
Okay, right. But I don't see
The email
like,
that was sent to all the,
anything.
so you all should have gotten it. It was sent to all the boards. Yes.
I suppose maybe it's the section of the memo that says currently and financing.
That's the way I read it.
Okay. So you would be voting probably whatever the terms, whatever is outlined currently, it looks like the terms of the contract is laid out here, which is the offer of 1.7, donation, due diligence, timeframe, land requires, anything that's in that part, it looks like that's what you'd be voting on, anything in the memo.
Hi, it's Kathleen. But again, I mean, the resolution that's attached does specifically reference a separate attached resolution. And that separate attached resolution is not present.
You should have received it in an email. All the boards for all the districts got that email that had it attached.
So Jeff, what I received is this initial resolution. So it is a resolution, and this resolution again references an attached resolution. And then I received the memo.
I don't think that the resolution references the memo. I don't see it referencing.
The email that I'm looking at was received, I have it as May 11th, 2026, 1:48 p.m. from Sean and Tony to all the school board directors, superintendents, and business managers. And the first attachment is the document that Lee is talking about, or that Dave was talking about, that talks about history, has a section currently, financing, and then some next steps at the end.
We have.
Right, that's the memo. That is the memo that is attached in our agenda as well. So in the agenda for the board, there are two documents, that memo, and then this resolution. But this resolution references a separate resolution. So is it just that this resolution is misstating, and what it should be referencing is the memo?
There are two resolutions from an email, not on May 11th, but on May 21st, that was forwarded from Alice Broadway to the school board.
Ryan, do you have that latter resolution? Do you mind sharing that, or?
If you check your email. It's coming around. And it includes the original, it includes the original memo as well as two resolutions.
Date?
May 21st, but I just sent it to the school board as well. It was from Alice Broadway. So the meat of it is, for the first one, is that the school board directors of the school district does hereby give its approval to the attached resolution of the joint board, blah, 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 and agrees to be bound to the terms and conditions contained therein, which is what you're just saying. And then the second resolution. Authorizing real estate purchase.
It's pretty much.
Leah,
Yes.
and maybe I'm just making this make common sense in my head. So what I believe we were approving, we would just be approving that we are going to give our portion of said funds to pay for said real estate. ACTI would be on the hook for all the obligations in said contract. We're just on the hook for said money for said contract.
Correct.
So we're not obligating ourselves to anything other than the cash to purchase. ACTI is on the hook for anything in the real estate contract because they are purchasing the property.
Yeah, but we are ACTI.
Recognizing that that our board participates and is membership on the JOC that oversees ACTI. Yep.
Most of the times when you're asked to sign a resolution, you have seen the full contract of what you're purchasing. I don't know that.
Not necessarily. Sometimes terms are explained without the full contract. I will just say that does happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would prefer to see a whole contract.
And Ryan, correct me if that the third attachment really has what I would consider the closest thing to terms and conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm in the weeds here with the fine print, but absolutely. And I think that it's the numbered off items that the purchase of property will not exceed the $2 million, and that any and all actions taken by the director and committee with terms of the resolution or in the furtherance of the transactions be contemplated hereby and they each are hereby notified, confirmed, and approved. Sorry about the legalese.
Okay. Any further discussion before we vote?
Yes, hi, it's Kathleen again on the phone. I do have a question. So it looks like our share is just about $427,000. For the last 2 years, the board has raised taxes 1% to help cover the cost of ACTI. How much have we raised? So where are we at actually being able to pay this $427,000?
At the end of 26-27, we'll have about $750,000 set aside from the 1% every year. So we would end up taking 2% of that to pay for the land purchase.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Donna?
I just need to understand. So we're voting on purchasing this land, is that correct? But what happens then after that? Do we look at what Dave's talking about? Where does that go?
Dr. Dalton, I'm going to look at you,
I don't know enough
Tim
of the
on that.
process.
Well, I mean, I would say the way to approach that, if that's something that this board decides they want to explore, then I'm assuming that Jeff would have to get a hold of Sean or the new director, whichever
Tony.
isn't thing, and express his feelings that they want that to be, that this board wants that to be explored as an option. Just like if Littlestown or whoever wanted the same, thing.
That could also, I mean, you certainly, I mean, I know that they said before, any of our board, like their JOC meetings are like our public board meetings. So you all could certainly attend a JOC meeting as well and express those concerns there too.
I would just think that, it's just like anything else. One person goes in there and just says, hey, I want this, and you're just like me. I'm still just like here. I'm one of 6 or 7 of it is on the board. You just have to, and then I'm assuming that that board would have to vote if they want to go that way, and then, same thing everybody else goes.
So I did have another question for Belinda to follow up on Kathleen. So it's the 2% of the 700 some odd, you said 750?
If you give me a second, I'll tell you what the total is.
Yeah.
We're about $360,000 a year is about 1%, but that would be $750,000 would be at the end of 26-27. So in other words, the 2 years that we have set aside to date would be the 2 years that we have in place to pay the land purchase of our percentage.
But only 2% of what we're setting aside goes towards the land purchase?
No, the 2%
No.
that we collected.
The 2% that we set up to have a taxation on would automatically go to the 1%. So therefore, we would be creating another few more years on 1% or more. We did not set money aside for a land purchase. We've only set money aside for 1% a year to an aid in the efforts of ACTI's future development.
So, I mean, I guess the gist of Kathleen's question, which I think is an important one, is how short are we in terms of meeting the commitment for the land purchase based on this decision?
We would have the money for the land purchase.
And I'm accurate in saying that the actual land purchase, our portion would be somewhere around like 360,000, not the 400 and some thousand.
No, our purchase, our part is $426,720.
It's $1.7 million minus the $200,000 endowment, which they get back. That's 1.5 minus $500,000 from Adams County. That's $1 million. We pay 1/5 of the $1 million, our percentage.
I'm only saying the documents that presented to the board
I'm just
indicates
speaking-
1.2 million.
I know what is presented. It was incorrect, is what I'm trying to explain. So
I wouldn't have any other prior knowledge of being incorrect or not incorrect, other than the documents presented to the board. So
just
if it's presented to the board
Nah.
as our portion of $426,720, that's our portion. And our 2%, 2 years would pay for that portion.
Any further discussion? All right, we'll vote. Ryan? Sorry, Ryan.
In the understanding that, and I know I'm not supposed to pontificate, but that's, turn this mic on. But in the understanding that we're looking at the purchase of this property that's been agreed upon by the joint committee and that we're not going to exceed 2 million. I'm going to vote yes.
Tim?
yes.
Kathleen?
Can I get clarification first, or are we past that?
I think it's important enough issue. We can give you a clarification.
Thanks. So for clarification, are we directing ACTI to investigate stormwater abatement at the Hack property in these 7 months while they're doing their due diligence at the other property?
I don't believe we can direct them. We can, as a school district, we can ask for them to do that, but we can't direct them to do
And,
that.
yeah, and this vote
Unless
isn't
all
telling.
5 schools directed them to do that.
Right, and this vote is not
Yes,
establishing that
and this,
direction.
yeah, it doesn't.
Kathleen?
I'm voting no.
Tim convinced me that land is a valuable asset, and it's something that we, as a joint operation committee, will have that will be valuable to us. Whether or not it fully comes to fruition, that is eventually where things are. But based on that, my vote is a yes. Dave?
No.
Donna?
No.
Mike?
There's not enough information and not enough accurate information. I vote no.
Thank you. Motion does not pass. Moving on, item 6.2, approval process for the 5-year capital projects. Request that the board take action on a request to adopt a process allowing district administration to complete budget-funded and board-approved 5-year capital plan projects on a not-to-exceed budget estimate basis. I believe this was Dave's recommendation for us. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Mike?
yes,
Oh,
hi.
I'm sorry, Kathleen, go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. If someone's in the room wants to go first, that's fine.
You got the floor.
It's all you.
Oh, thank you. All right, well, I appreciate that. So I agree this would increase efficiency, and I think efficiency is good. I'm uncomfortable that this being a 5-year commitment could reduce flexibility when opportunities arise that could lead us to want to reshuffle priorities. So throwing this out there, I would be comfortable with a 2-year lookout. I'm less comfortable with a 5-year lookout.
Any further discussion?
I think Josh needs to explain the
Yeah, let
concept.
me clarify. So, really, what we're backing up our current process is the board approves a 5-year plan, but then they only fund the first year of that 5-year plan. So we would still be on a 1-year lookout per se, to use that term, in that we would only apply this new process to projects on the 5-year plan that are budgeted, funded. So when you guys approve the budget, you approve the budget for that next fiscal year's projects, and that's where this process would apply. And then it would go year by year thereafter, unless you decide to roll it back and continue to do things the way we're doing them now. So it's not a 5-year commitment. It's really just a commitment for that next fiscal year, which is year 1 on the 5-year capital plan. If that makes sense.
Yes, thank you. And now my heartburn is alleviated. Thank you.
Any further discussion? With that, Mike?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
I vote yes. Tim?
Yes.
Kathleen?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yes.
Motion approved. Item 6.3, Girls Wrestling Co-op sponsorship with Shalom Christian. That the board take action to approve a cooperative agreement for the girls wrestling with Shalom Christian. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Discussion.
I just want to say, I think it's be a great opportunity. I don't know how many girls we'd end up getting from that school, whether it be 1 or 10. It doesn't matter. It's giving those girls an opportunity to compete. I think it's a great thing.
Cody, any remarks or any thoughts on your part before we vote?
The only thing I'll say is when we do these co-ops, I'm one of them in to be situations where it's a win-win. I think the Fairfield co-op so far has been a win-win for both districts, and I think this is a win-win for us and Shalom. So,
it's not your first rodeo with co-ops, is it?
No.
All right. Ryan?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Kathleen?
Yes.
I vote yes. Dave?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Motion approved. Subject item 6.4, food services meal prices. That the board discuss and take action on the request to increase meal prices for the 26-27 school year at all levels. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? I believe the prices are there for your convenience to check out. Inflation is everywhere. Forget which way I started. I'm going to go with Mike this time.
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
I vote yes. Kathleen?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yes.
Thank you. That concludes action items, and we'll move to program reports. Dr. Matzer.
Yes, good evening. One of the topics that had come up a couple times recently was the athletic handbook. So just wanted to touch on that quick. I know that we had mentioned we were meeting to discuss the handbook. Administration met with the athletic director on June 2nd, on that Tuesday, just to discuss the handbook. Moving forward, we have decided that 2 of the classes that need to be completed by our coaches, we're moving to our vector system, which we already pay for that platform, so that will make those 2 classes free of charge for coaches since the district already pays for the platform. That was a major change that we're making to the handbook. There was a 3rd class that we were asking coaches to complete, but we learned that that 3rd class is no longer necessary, so we're dropping that as a requirement. So the 2 classes that our coaches will need to complete will be done online through our vector system. We will make sure that the coaches, whether they're paid or volunteer coaches, can come in. We'll have access to be able to take those through the vector system, not have to pay for them. When it does come to reimbursing volunteer coaches, we will continue to require credit card or bank statements to show proof of payment. We don't necessarily need to do a W-9, but we do need proof of payment that shows the line item for the training, if it was something that had previously been done with those trainings, a line item showing that, the last 4 digits of a credit card or the account number, the address of wherever that person lives, all as proof of payment that those were done. Anything else on those statements can be blacked out or redacted. We don't need all the other information. But the major change in the handbook is going to be that those 2 courses are getting moved to our vector system, so they'll be free of charge for our coaches. A couple of other just items to note. The GASD free summer meal program begins this Wednesday and runs through August 6th. So students, all children and teenagers 18 and under can come over to the middle school between 11:30 and 12:30 starting on Wednesday and get free lunch. There is a reduced price for adults also. And for added convenience, families can pick up a grab-and-go breakfast bag during that lunch service for the following day as well. A couple other groups of students to recognize. We have about 20 high school students currently are participating in WellSpan's Career Exploration Program this week, where they get some hands-on simulations and learn from healthcare professionals at WellSpan. I know Mr. Lusk was there this morning with those about 20 students and congratulated them on what they were doing. So they're at WellSpan for that program. Camp Invention and the Invention Project is our STEM camps. They're starting in July. They run from July 13th through the 16th. I know that we did have several students that were able to attend that because of some scholarships. We appreciate that. And the last group we want to recognize is the Gettysburg Area High School World Language Department. The World Language Department earned the 2026 through 2028 Pennsylvania State Modern Language Association Exemplary Program Silver Globe Award, which is a prestigious statewide recognition honoring excellence in world language. So we want to give a shout out to our high school world language department. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Matzer. That's quite an impressive report. Thank you. Looking at future dates in item 8.1, you can see those there. We will not be meeting in the month of July. Thank goodness. I think everybody will enjoy having that break over July. I would just say this before we conclude or adjourn. And I think I speak for everybody, and if I'm not, please say something. Voting down that resolution tonight does not mean that this board isn't passionate about career and technical education. I think we all understand how valuable that is for the future. And regardless of AI, there's always going to be a need for good plumbers, electricians, carpenters, masons, so on and so on. So at some point, when we get more information, a contract, more terms and conditions and so on, am I speaking for everybody here that if we get more information, we certainly will bring this back on the table and reconsider supporting a resolution with more information?
I will ask if somebody, one of you, Al, if it's you or Dave, whoever wants to email me exactly what you believe is missing and the information that you need, I will reach out to Sean and Tony and get that for you as soon as I possibly can.
That's a good recommendation, Dr. Matzer, and I'm going to ask Mr. Seitz and Mr. Sigmund if they would collaborate on that. I think they're maybe the two most qualified here that have the most information and background and skill set to help us out with that. Is that agreeable to everybody? Thank you. And with that, may I have a motion to adjourn? So moved. Thank you.